Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. Zira floated just above the sidewalk, marveling at the human hustle and bustle. Earth was a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, a vibrant world unlike the muted, rigid hues of her home planet, Xenar. She had come to study these peculiar beings, but so far they were a puzzle she couldn't quite piece together. It was at a local coffee shop, a hive of human interaction, where her adventure began. As she peered through the window, she spotted Ethan, a barista with tousled hair, serving drinks with an ease and charm that captivated her. The way he interacted with customers, laughter punctuating the air, drew her in. It was an alien concept to her, yet enticing. Determined, Zira donned her most human attire, a brightly patterned dress that clashed with her green skin, oversized sunglasses shielding her expressive eyes from the sunlight. What she really resembled was a misplaced alien, somewhat ridiculous. But she didn't let that deter her. As she stepped inside, the cacophony of small talk and the scent of fresh coffee enveloped her. The warmth of the shop enveloped her as she approached the counter, her heart racing with anticipation. Just as she was about to speak, an enthusiastic customer bumped into her, sending coffee splattering to the floor. "Oh, I'm so sorry," came a male voice. Ethan stood before her, his eyes wide with surprise as he took in her unique appearance. "Can I help you with whatever's going on?" Eagerly, Zira replied, "Yes, I am here for, coffee." He blinked, a smile breaking across his face. "Right. Would you like a mocha latte or—" "Make! I will have the thing that makes you happy," she declared confidently. He stifled a laugh, clearly amused. "That would be the mocha then. It's quite popular." As he prepared her drink, she watched intently, the whirring of the espresso machine creating a mesmerizing rhythm. "Are you happy?" "What? I'm fine," he said nervously, a blush creeping up his cheeks. Zira leaned in closer, studying his reaction. "Your face tells a different story. My scans indicate elevated heart rate. Are you in distress?" His laughter rang through the air, a sound that drew others' gazes. No, just not many people ask about my heart rate." Zira's eyes widened with curiosity. "I will examine that when we are friends. Friends are important," she proclaimed earnestly. Ethan's smile widened as he handed her the drink. "So we're friends now?" "Of course, I am Zira, human friend," she declared proudly, holding the cup close like a treasured artifact. As she turned to leave the coffee shop, her heart fluttered with giddy excitement. She had never felt anything like it before. The air felt lighter, and she couldn't help but think of the curious human who had sparked something inside her. The next day, with fresh determination, Zira returned to Ethan's cafe, hoping to grasp more about human emotions. Her excitement burst forth like sunshine, illuminating her features as she entered, the familiar jingle of the door announcing her arrival. "Hey, back for more coffee?" Ethan greeted, his face lighting up like the morning sun. Zira beamed at him, her heart racing in delight. "Yes, my dear friend. Also, I am here to learn how to be human." He raised an eyebrow playfully. "Whoa, big ambition. One coffee coming right up." He grinned, pouring the rich brew with a precise flourish. They spent the morning together, moving through the peculiarities of Earth life as laughter bubbled between them. Zira was particularly fascinated by the way humans expressed joy through humor, a concept that seemed bizarre yet tantalizing. With every joke, she tried to decipher their meaning. Ethan shared snippets of his life, each story filled with exaggeration and vibrant imagery, creating a tapestry of laughter around them. At one point, he leaned closer across the counter and said, "Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field." As Zira absorbed the joke, confusion crossed her face. "This is funny yet strange. Why a scarecrow?" "You'll understand soon enough," he chuckled, a mischievous glint sparkling in his eyes. Determined not to be outdone, she leaned forward, eyes bright with excitement. "What if I tell you a joke?" "Hit me," he said, leaning in with eagerness. Zira cleared her throat, adopting an overly dramatic stance. "Why did the chicken cross the road?" she began, her tone serious. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "I don't know. Why?" To get to the other side, huh? She declared, bursting into laughter at her own delivery. He blinked, a smile creeping across his lips. That was adorable. Adorable? Zira tilted her head, puzzled. Is that good? Very good. Just let's work on the punchline a little, he grinned, unable to hold back his laughter. Excited by their growing camaraderie, they decided to share a lunch outing. Ethan led her to an ice cream shop, eager to introduce her to one of Earth's sweetest delights. As they settled outside with their cones, melting slightly in the sun, Zira took her first sip. The flavors exploded on her tongue, vanilla intertwined with chocolate, everything swirling into a euphoric rush. This is a revelation, she exclaimed, looking wide-eyed as she experienced a new layer of joy. Emotion in actual food, Ethan chuckled, watching her reaction light up her features. It filled him with warmth as he imagined the depths of the experiences they still had ahead of them. You've got a serious knack for enjoying new things, Zira. With each passing moment, the distance between them faded to near non-existence, and when their hands accidentally brushed while sharing bites of their cones, a jolt ran through both of them, igniting something inexplicable. What do you feel right now, Ethan? She asked gently, her gaze searching his with earnest curiosity. He hesitated, but finally replied, Right now I feel happy, more than I've felt in a long time. Their eyes met, an electric connection flowing between them, rising tension as their hands lingered just a moment longer. Zira took a deep breath, emboldened by their closeness. Can friends feel other things? Like what? He asked tentatively, inches apart. Like, affection. Is that allowed? She managed to murmur. Ethan's heart raced as he took her hand, intertwining their fingers. Affection is absolutely allowed, he whispered, drawing her closer to him, igniting warmth that flowed between them. As their friendship blossomed into an adventure, Ethan began to introduce Zira to the vibrancy of human culture, laying a pathway lined with laughter and fascination. One evening, he suggested, Let's hit the karaoke bar. It'll be fun. Zira's eyes lit up at the mention of fun, a concept she was rapidly warming up to. I will demonstrate my vocal talents. I wish to understand this earth art. When they stepped into the dimly lit space, the allure of music and laughter enveloped them, pulling Zira into a warm embrace. She noticed how humans navigated emotions through music, their faces alive with joy, singing unabashedly, unaware of the world outside. Finally, it was Zira's turn on stage. As she clutched the microphone, a wave of excitement flooded through her. She chose a classic love song, her voice resonating with rich melodies as she sang with abandon, each note a heartfelt tribute to the intricate weave of emotions she was learning to navigate. Yet her unique vocal interpretation left the crowd puzzled yet captivated. In the midst of her performance, Ethan cheered loudly, shouting encouragement that reverberated through the space and filled Zira with immense pride. After she stepped down, breathless and exhilarated, he rushed to her side. You were amazing. I've never seen anyone put so much heart into a performance. Is that emotion? She questioned, her cheeks flushed with a blend of pride and confusion. It's called passion, he said, his eyes sparkling as he leaned in closer. And you showcased it beautifully. Their playful banter filled the night air as they tucked into a corner, sharing laughter over drinks, with the sounds of other patrons drifting around them. They could feel their presence growing between them, warm, tangible, an undercurrent of connection that fueled the spark in their hearts. As their singing turned into whispers, and they exchanged stories amidst the warm glow of string lights, the cool breeze brushed their skin, the night ripe with possibilities. Zira, Ethan said, breaking the comfortable silence that had settled between them, a seriousness in his tone. I enjoy being with you more than anyone else. You light up everything. Zira smiled warmly, her heart fluttering at his words. Since meeting you, I have explored many feelings, especially when you are near, she admitted softly, her eyes gazing deeply into his. The silence that enveloped them had shifted to something thicker, charged with anticipation. Their fingers brushed lightly, a spark igniting in the air as they lingered, hovering just out of reach. Do you ever wonder what lies beyond friendship? He asked, his voice low and earnest, urging her to dive deeper. She took a breath, feeling a kaleidoscope of emotions whirl within her. "I do," she whispered. "I think about it all the time." Yet she hesitated, uncertainty creeping in. "But what if it's too overwhelming?" "Then we'll handle it together," Ethan replied, leaning closer, drawing courage from her vulnerability. "I promise." Tentatively, as if sensing their moment was arriving, he brushed his fingertips against her cheek, grounding her as he closed the distance between them with a ghostly touch that ignited her every nerve. In that soft, lingering moment, Zira felt her heart skip a beat, a longing unfurling like petals of a flower, yearning to bloom. With an unspoken understanding, the world around them faded, and when their lips met, it was a gentle exploration of something profoundly intimate and raw, a discovery of love blossoming between them. Weeks rolled by in a blissful whirl of shared experiences, rich in intimacy and laughter. Each moment brought them closer, until the boundary between friends and something deeper began to blur. One sunny afternoon in the park, Ethan set up his guitar on the grass, and as he began to strum, Zira watched in awe. "Show me how to feel this music," she said, inching closer, excitement tingling at her fingertips. He taught her chords, their hands brushing against each other as he guided her fingers over the strings, a warmth igniting beneath her skin. The close proximity felt intoxicating, each lingering touch a spark they both felt. As they practiced, laughter mingled with the sounds of nature. It was as if the world around them had faded into insignificance. Zira laughed as he gently corrected her strumming technique, an intimate dance between teacher and student. "I think you already feel it, Zira," he said softly, his eyes holding hers, a deeper meaning lying beneath their playful exchanges. But as their laughter flowed into silence, Zira suddenly grew pensive. Memories of Zynar, its rigid beliefs about emotions, surged back. A mix of yearning and fear swelled within her, a tumult she struggled to articulate. "Ethan," she said, her voice a breath of uncertainty on the wind, "what if we explore deeper emotions?" "Sounds good to me. I'm all for emotional adventures," he replied, oblivious to her turmoil, causing her to look away. "No, I mean—" She hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "The deeper we grow, the risks. I've never been in a place like this before." Ethan didn't pause. He stepped closer, reaching for her hand. "Zira, I get that this is new and scary for you, but it doesn't have to be a weakness. You make me feel things I never thought possible. If I can embrace it, so can you." The sincerity in his voice broke through her guarded heart. "But what if it's something that can't be undone?" she whispered, the weight of vulnerability apparent in her gaze. "Then we'll learn together," Ethan assured, his voice gentle yet filled with certainty. "We'll navigate the beauty and chaos." Feeling emboldened, Zira met his gaze, the tension shifting as they both leaned in closer. In a moment of vulnerability, Ethan brushed his lips against her forehead, a kiss so tender that it lit an inferno within her soul, a connection that whispered promises of something more. For a moment time stood still, and Zira's heart soared. "Why did you do that?" she asked quietly, a tremor in her voice. "Because I wanted to show you affection without overwhelming you," he replied, his eyes searching hers. Zira took a breath, emboldened by the gentle intimacy unfolding. "One day I will show you the depths of my affection too." In this shared understanding, they lingered, the world around them fading into blurred brilliance, a single truth binding them, a connection born from care, passion, and the willingness to explore together. When the music festival came into view, excitement enveloped Ethan, yet a heaviness sat squarely in Zira's heart. She felt like she was walking a tightrope, balancing her desire for connection and the fear of exposing her emotions in a judgmental world. As she watched people gather, cheering and celebrating, an inkling of doubt tied her stomach in knots. "Ethan, I'm feeling—" She hesitated, her voice trailing off as the oppressive atmosphere pressed in around her. "Are you all right?" he asked, sensing the shift in her demeanor. Zira forced a smile as she replied, I'm uncertain. It feels different here. Remember, it's just a performance. You'll be right by my side," he assured while wrapping his arm around her shoulders, igniting comforting warmth that coursed through her like a breath of fresh air. But as the festival date approached, her fears loomed larger. They stood at the edges, watching one performer after another, the music electrifying the air. Zira could feel her heart pounding, anxiety pretending to wrap around her as tightly as a bandage. In an attempt to ease her anxiety inside, Zira clutched Ethan's hand tightly, fingers entwined, refusing to let go of the connection that made her feel safest. "What if I cannot face your world? I fear revealing too much." "Zira, your strength lies not in hiding but in facing these emotions head-on," he said gently, tilting her chin to catch her gaze, his voice steady and reassuring. Being so close allowed her to absorb the warmth that radiated from him, washing over her like a soothing balm. "You opened a world I never knew," she said, her voice trembling beneath the weight of vulnerability. "I want to embrace that world with you." Ethan's heart raced as he observed the depth of feeling behind her words. "Then let's face this festival together." As they stood side by side, feeling invincible amidst the chaotic energy surrounding them, joy blossomed within Zira. Yet, as the time of Ethan's performance drew nearer, anxiety surged as she noticed the hostile group from earlier returning, their intentions radiating negativity. "Get out of our city, alien!" they shouted, their cruel laughter reverberating around her. Ethan immediately turned, his protective instincts flaring. "Back off!" Zira's heart raced, a mixture of fear and fury circling within her. The crowd shifted, tension mounting as harsh words pierced through the jubilant atmosphere, a climate reversal. In an instinctual reaction, she stepped forward, ready to defend both herself and Ethan. "You will not frighten me," she declared, fierce determination washing over her. "Zira!" Ethan shouted, concern lacing his voice. But the fire inside her thrummed with newfound resolve as she met his gaze, drawing strength from the unwavering bond they had formed. "I face this world with you." Ethan felt her conviction flow through him, their fingers still linked, an unbreakable promise binding their hearts. Together, they challenged their fears, embodying a united front against hostility. As a soft glow illuminated Zira's skin, a protective barrier emanated from her, creating a dazzling spectacle. "Please understand, love conquers fear," she proclaimed with a powerful voice, her emotions radiating warmth that enveloped them both. The hostile comments subsided as awe began replacing disdain. The crowd stood, captivated, witnessing the beautiful connection before them, a tangible embodiment of love and acceptance, courage drawn from unity. With each heartbeat, they collectively faced what lay ahead, a new pathway forged among the crowd as Ethan stepped forward. "Together, we will create something beautiful," he declared, amplifying their unity. Zira began to sing her heart out, her voice soaring as she melded with Ethan's guitar strumming, producing a mesmerizing harmony that enveloped the area. In an instant, the tension dissipated as the crowd began to cheer and pulse with excitement. With the festival buzzing around them, Ethan's heart raced as he prepared to perform once more. It was exhilarating, the thrill of expressing himself to the gathered crowd, yet he couldn't shake the sense of something monumental looming ahead. "Zira!" he called out as he scanned the audience, searching for the familiar figure who had sparked life into his world. Her vibrant energy shone like a beacon, a comforting presence amidst the crowd. "Ethan!" she cheered, waving enthusiastically. With renewed determination, he began to play, his fingers dancing over the strings in perfect harmony with the melody. The excitement in the air became palpable, and as the music wrapped itself around them, he felt something shift. Yet his heart dropped as he caught sight of the hostile group, who had returned, emboldened by their previous success. "You don't belong here," they shouted again, venomous words slicing through the joyous atmosphere. "Ethan!" Zira breathed, her eyes wide with panic. She could feel their malice tugging at her heart. "I'm right here," he called back, unwavering in his resolve to protect her. In that moment, Zira felt the power of their connection surge within her like wildfire. She stepped forward, fully prepared to confront those who threatened their bond. "No more!" she declared, her voice rising above the growing chaos. The crowd hushed, tension building as she unleashed the depth of her feelings, the emotion swirling within her coalescing into a vibrant force. "You will not take away my right to feel," she proclaimed boldly, the air crackling with raw energy. Sensing the palpable connection between them, Ethan moved closer, resting his hand against her back for support. "Together!" he called out, the sense of belonging fueling their resolve. Zira summoned her powers. The shimmering barrier formed around them, pulsating with brightness, deflecting negativity that sought to tear them apart. "With love, we can withstand anything," she declared, her heart pounding. The crowd shifted as respect and admiration surged. The chilling hostility gave way to hope and community. The oppressive weight began to lift, and the energy shifted to one of solidarity. "Stand with us," Ethan urged, his voice imbued with conviction as he turned toward the audience, excitement sparking in his heart. "Join us." With that, the crowd erupted, clapping, singing, and uniting under the resonating truths of love and acceptance. Together, they created a beautiful cacophony that swept through the atmosphere, an acknowledgement of the love growing between Zira and Ethan. Amidst the joyful chaos, Zira locked eyes with Ethan, feeling his strength dissolve her doubts, allowing her to fully embrace the possibilities awaiting them. The musical fabric they created with their voices wove tightly, drawing in energy from every direction, a celebration of diversity wrapped elegantly around them. After the exhilarating performance, the energy of the crowd was electric, creating a wave of unexpected emotion. Ethan felt lightheaded, the laughter and love washing over him as he eyed Zira in the distance, absorbing the magic. "Zira," he began, urgency threading through his voice. "You mean everything to me. I need to tell you something important." Zira's eyes sparkled with curiosity, her heart racing in anticipation. "What is it? You can tell me anything." His voice softened. He could feel the weight of his confession settled between them like a dance, a step they both needed to take. "I think I'm falling for you," he murmured, vulnerability pouring forth. The tension hung between them, her gaze unwavering, searching his face for sincerity. "You mean love?" she whispered, her heart fluttering. "Yes," he affirmed, stepping even closer. "It's more than I expected, but it's undeniably real. You've shown me colors I never knew existed within me." Zira felt warmth flood her being, emotions entwining within her, mixing exhilaration and trepidation in a whirlpool of feelings battling for dominance. "But what if I can't control these emotions? What if they overwhelm us?" "Then we'll face it," he promised, stepping into her space, their breaths mingling. "We'll handle it together, like we always do." The intensity of their connection enveloped them, a moment teeming with potential. "You opened up a world I never knew," she said softly, feeling her pulse quicken as she surrendered to the intensity of the moment. "I want to embrace the depths of our connection." In that moment, they bridged the chasm of uncertainty, leaning in slowly. When their lips met for the first time, it was tentative yet electric, a connection blossoming from the ground of honesty and vulnerability. The kiss deepened, a gentle exploration of warmth filling them as they intertwined their souls. Zira melted into Ethan, the moment wrapping around them like a tender embrace, grounding her amidst the chaos of emotion. "Why did you do that?" she asked softly, breath catching in her throat. "Because I wanted to show you my feelings for you. No walls, just honesty," he whispered, their foreheads resting against one another as they oscillated in the aftermath, breaths mingling. Zira felt clarity wash over her, dispelling the shadows that had lingered. "I've never felt something this profound before." "Neither have I," Ethan confessed, a smile breaking over his face. "But together we can learn how to navigate it." In their shared stillness, she took a step closer, surrendering to the warmth and tenderness surrounding them. "Let's be brave together," she said. With the dawn of love blossoming between them, Zira and Ethan embraced their unfolding journey with newfound vigor. Days turned into weeks, and each shared moment drew them closer, creating an intricate tapestry of connection that transcended their differences. One sunlit afternoon, they wandered hand in hand through the open park, laughter ringing like music in the air. Ethan carried his guitar, a fantasy sewn within the fabric of their budding relationship. "Let's create something together," he suggested, taking a seat on a soft patch of grass, setting the stage beneath the colossal oak trees swaying gently in the breeze. Zira nodded appreciatively. Yes, a fusion of us. Together they wove the melodies of their hearts, a harmonious blend of human and alien experiences that resonated through the canopy, reaching for the heavens. As they played side by side, the world transformed into a blur of vibrant sounds, laughter, and joy, each note carrying a piece of their journey woven together. With every chord, each passing moment, their connection deepened, layers of affection forming beyond what either had anticipated. Music translates emotions like nothing else, Ethan said, glancing sideways at her, warmth pooling in his chest. You're part of my song now. Zira felt a gentle flush at his words. Every brush of his fingers against her arm sent electric sparks dancing across her skin. I could get used to this feeling, a lovely melody. And with each strum and laugh shared between them, they created memories infused with intimacy and understanding, realizing the power of vulnerability that lay beneath their words. As night fell, they settled beneath a blanket of stars, the world wrapping them in a soft embrace. Being close, Zira leaned into Ethan's side, feeling their hearts pulsing together under the starlit sky. Ethan, she whispered quietly, the atmospheric serenity swaying around them, soothing her racing heart. Will you promise to stay by my side, no matter how strange things might get? Always, he replied sincerely, squeezing her hand like a lifeline tethering them together. Enveloped in each other's presence, they exchanged playful teasing and deeper confessions, and shared hopes infused with affection. Zira couldn't help but marvel at how easily Ethan made her feel at home, a feeling she had long sought but never thought possible until now. As the night deepened, their laughter filled the air, a joyous union of human and Xenarian spirit, navigating love as their shared journey unfolded ahead. Each moment imbued with promise, animalistic desire, and mutual understanding that blossomed into something undeniable, left their hearts aflutter with excitement. The moon sparkled above them, a witness to their beautiful connection, illuminating the path before them. A journey of love, laughter, and adventures, awash with potential, anchored in love that had effortlessly melted the lines of worlds apart.